Good evening everyone. Hindi po kayo nagkakamali. It's Usapang ED and we're starting early. Of course, kasama ko si Doc D.
And Atty. E.
Dito sa Usapang ED Season
Actually,
2.
Parang may problema talaga ako dun sa line na yun. No? Kasama ko si Doc D at si Atty. E. Parang mali, no? Palitan na nga natin yun.
Sige, palitan na natin.
Ngayon ko lang yun na-realize kasi 6 p.m.
Kasi 6 p.m.
Oo.
Sige, ano dapat?
Oo.
Baliktad.
Anyway.
Ako si Atty. E. Ganon.
And this is Doc D. Dito sa Usapang ED. Ayan.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Ayan. So,
Wow, live na tayo at 6
Live na tayo,
6
oo.
p.m. Yung mga usual ba nating nanonood, nandiyan na kaya?
baka nanonood pa ng Senate hearing. Senate hearing pa ba?
Mami mo kaya?
Mama ko,
Kumusta
lagi-
natin si mami mo? Baka
Oh.
hindi pa niya alam na pang 6 p.m. tayo tonight.
Updated
Anyway,
siya.
we're very happy to see all of you again. And we're also very excited for the episode tonight.
And looks like we're in a different place again.
Yeah.
Para saan na naman tayo?
Of course, there's a throw pillow somewhere here.
Parang walang clue ngayon. Walang mugs,
walang clue. Pero
bottled
pag
water.
ginawa nilang buo to, makikita na yung clue there. Sa clue,
Makikita.
somewhere. Okay. Okay, so.
But before that, para malaman
We'll give
nila.
them a clue.
Okay, sige. Let's
Give you a
show.
clue. Okay.
Let's show them this AVP.
At the very heart of Dasmariñas, Cavite, Philippines, on a sprawling 5.8-hectare campus, stands an institution dedicated to shaping minds and making a difference. Emilio Aguinaldo College Cavite. Founded by the national scientist Dr. Paulo C. Campos and now under the visionary leadership of Dr. Jose Paulo E. Campos, EAC Cavite proudly upholds a legacy of academic excellence with organized facilities and accommodating staff, raising the bar of excellence and quality education beyond the borders. We nurture Emilians who are not just academically excellent but also globally competent and compassionate. Over the years, Emilio Aguinaldo College Cavite has earned a reputation as a premier institution not just among Caviteños, but also among learners from across borders. With our tradition of warm hospitality, we welcome all, embracing diversity and enriching our Emilian community. Driven by a commitment to international standards, EAC Cavite has earned ISO 9001-2015 and ISO 21001-2018 certifications and has proudly been granted the regulated status by CHED. These recognitions are built on a foundation of total learning, equal opportunities at both secondary and tertiary levels. We offer senior high school tracks in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, accountancy, business and management, humanities and social sciences, information and communications technology, and home economics, preparing learners for success in any field. At the tertiary level, learners have a wide array of program offerings on courses under the Institute of Management, Humanities and Social Sciences Institute, Engineering Sciences and Technology Institute, the Biomedical Sciences Institute, and the Institute of the Law and Justice. Our accredited academic programs are proof of our unwavering dedication to quality.
Associate status. Candidate status. Level 1 formal accreditation status. Level 2 first reaccreditation status. Level 2 second reaccreditation status. Level 3 reaccreditation status.
Our learners, the Emilian top-notchers who set benchmarks in their fields, embody our dedication to exceeding expectations as evidenced by our consistently high passing rates in board exams. At Emilio Aguinaldo College Cavite, research is at the core of our pursuits. In November 2025, we successfully hosted our 5th International Multidisciplinary Research Conference, bringing together experts, scholars, and learners from diverse fields and countries. Our commitment to global perspectives is demonstrated by our ongoing partnership with Nanyang Medical College in China, hosting the Zhangzongjing Traditional Chinese Medicine Training and Workshop. We continuously boost internationalization through active participation in seminars and conferences across the globe, ensuring Emilians gain insights from and contribute to the world stage. But excellence does not end in the classroom or lab. Emilio Aguinaldo College Cavite proudly embraces giving back through numerous outreach activities. Cultivating the spirit of Kizuna, the art of giving and sharing, which inspires Emilians to make an impact beyond our campus walls. EAC Cavite continues to grow with the new 12-story building set for completion by 2026. Our learners benefit from advanced technology and partnerships with top educational software providers, including Labster, Complete Anatomy, Brightspace, Turnitin, and Google Workspace. Research is supported by hubs equipped with SPSS and NVivo Plus. Emilians excel in all avenues: academics, sports, arts, and leadership, enabled by facilities that inspire both individual achievement and collective progress. Further underscoring our dedication to excellence, we launched the graduate school programs, the Master in Business Administration, and the Master of Arts in Education with a major in Education Management. EAC Cavite continues to strengthen its position as a globally engaged academic institution by balancing international reach with local community development. The institution has successfully expanded its educational influence through local and international career campaigns, MOAs, and MOUs, various international universities. Our international footprint is stronger than ever. We celebrate a landmark 16-year partnership with Nanyang Medical College, hosting the Zhangzongjing Institute training for 3 consecutive years, from 2024 to 2026. Expansion continues across Asia, from an MOU with American International University Bangladesh to collaborations with the Kosen Group in Japan. In March 2024, we marked a milestone, sending our first batch of learners to South Korea for the Daegu Health College Social Welfare Program. EACC transforms participation into excellence. Our learners and faculty consistently secure top honors and major awards in international research conferences and global competitions. We balance this global reach with a solid local foundation, partnering with TESDA, the Philippine Coast Guard, and government agencies to ensure our graduates are grounded in the highest industry standards. We continue to prepare over 10,000 students for educational and professional success, united by virtue, excellence, and service. The thriving Emilian community stands ready to shape Philippine and global education, making a meaningful and lasting impact. Emilio Aguinaldo College Cavite. The world starts here.
Okay, so welcome to our Usapang ED at the Emilio Aguinaldo College for our episode on legacy, tradition, and innovation. But we're here in Manila.
Yes,
Yung
I
ating
wanted to,
ABP
yeah, I
ay
wanted to say
Cavite.
that. So we're now here at Emilio Aguinaldo College, Manila.
Manila.
But of course, we also will cover what was shown in the video, Emilio Aguinaldo College, Cavite. And we will make our guests explain.
Why?
Explain. Okay, these two campuses. Okay.
Let's formally introduce our guests for tonight. So we have two guests. Now, one is the Vice President for Academic Affairs of EAC Cavite, Dr. Rebecca D. Miranda. She holds a Doctor of Business Administration. She's also a certified public accountant. And she began her academic journey by completing a Bachelor of Science in Accountancy, establishing a strong foundation in professional discipline, and she functions as the institution's academic architect, overseeing the quality of the curriculum and the professional development of the faculty in EAC Cavite. So, Dr. Rebecca Miranda, welcome to Usapang ED.
Atty. E and Doc D. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat, kausapang ED.
Wow.
And of course, our guest also is the president of the Emilio Aguinaldo College Cavite and Manila campuses. And he is Dr. Jose Paulo Chichoy E. Campos. He earned his Doctor of Education from the University of San Francisco in the United States. He holds a Master of Business Administration in Finance from the prestigious Columbia University in New York. He completed his undergraduate studies with a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. He serves as the primary steward of the institution's heritage, carrying forward the mission established by his father, the national scientist Dr. Paulo Campos. He's also the past president of PAP School, the Philippine Association of Private Schools, Colleges, and Universities, I think for 12 years.
Was he not the founding president?
No.
Oh, no.
Baka may magtampo na.
I'm just asking. It was a question mark.
And then, of course, chairman of the Coordinating Council of Private Education Associations, I think when was that? Mga 2010, 2012.
I think I was already.
And of course, ano pa ba? May ninong in one of my major sponsors. And
Ano pa ba?
It's,
Parang yun ang pinakamahalaga.
Yun ang pinakamahalaga. Baka malimutan ko. Ay, wedding. And honorary consul of Nepal. And of course, a friend to many of our friends in private schools, private education sector. Of course, Dr. Jose Paulo Chichoy Campos. Sir, welcome to Usapang ED.
Thank you, Attorney E, for all that flattery. And Dr. D, I'm glad to be here. Sa ating mga nanonood, gandang gabi ho sa atin lahat. Anyway, let's talk about all the things we should be talking about.
So legacy kasi usapang legacy, then tradition and innovation. Let's start with legacy.
Yeah. Si Chichoy, if in case you don't know, isa ka sa unang target talaga namin. Ngayon lang namin nagawa. We really wanted to guest you
Don't
at
worry.
Usapang ED.
There's a lot of other people that you should get. So you finally got you here. We finally guested you, and we're here at Emilio Aguinaldo College. So siguro we'd like to ask about the history. So how many years Emilio Aguinaldo College, Manila, and then Actually,
what was the idea behind the school?
Can I go way back in time?
Okay.
To the late 50s.
Okay.
Alam nyo, the context for the aspiration for education really came because of the circumstances where, my father growing up in a province like Cavite. Now, a lot of you are quite young, but before, Cavite was, maybe you could think of it like Bangsamoro, autonomous region. It was actually a neglected area, maybe because of geography, because the main road really went through Laguna going to Batangas. That Aguinaldo Highway now was a two-lane road, which was pockmarked by just cement, asphalt patches, a pre-war road. And that's why, my father would say, ang problema, ang ating mga kababayan, kung hindi sila magsasaka, ano pang pagkakakitaan? So, babatakin daw yung kalabaw ng mga taga Laguna o yan carnapping. Kaya for a long time, the province of Cavite was identified with banditry. Kaya tinan nyo, itong naging si Ramon Revilla became popular playing Nardong Putik, who became a folk hero.
Kasi may agimat.
No, kasi and I will tell you, we used to go home to visit Dasmariñas when I was young, to visit my grandparents, and it was really it's like not really no development, very minimal development. At so ang ano niya, we need to create opportunities for our province mates. And what opportunity can you have if they don't have any education? Like yung unang school, yung Immaculate Conception Academy, yan ang prototype. Yung Dasmariñas, alam nyo, pagkatapos ng elementary school, wala na. Hindi ka na makakapasok.
Farming, gano'n.
Yeah, so my parents were fortunate. My father was fortunate. May kamag-anak sila sa Cavite City. At siguro, he was either the valedictorian or salutatorian. So, tinanggap siya sa Cavite National High School. But many stopped after elementary school. So, this is the situation that was attendant at that time. So, tinayo yung Immaculate Conception Academy, which gave an opportunity to do high school in the town then of Dasmariñas. From there, yung iba, nakapasok na ng college, like the last 4 or 5 mayors of the town were all alumni of this school. So you could see how the trajectory of development of a place is really affected by an educational institution. Of course, the first school was really here in Manila, and it was driven by because the first entity was really the hospital, which is Manila
Medical
and
Center.
it was driven by the need to get nurses, etc. So there was a school beside it where the owners went to Canada, so they acquired what was then the Marian College. But it was renamed in a rather controversial meeting, Emilio Aguinaldo. And Emilio Aguinaldo has detractors and one diehard supporter, which was my father. And so it became called Emilio Aguinaldo College. And, but, the hospital was already, my father was the president and he was also like almost the head of HR. The requirement for employment was, especially the entry-level jobs, taga Dasmariñas o taga Cavite. Kaya ang tawag dyan dati, Republic of Dasmariñas, yung Medical Center Manila. Kasi yun nga ang paano mabibigyan ng opportunities for employment itong ating mga kababayan. So, from there, a school was later put up in Dasmariñas. But the first school, when my father got a stroke, he went to Germany as a guest of the German government, but he got a stroke when he was there, but he survived it. But, none of the other doctors wanted to really be responsible for running a school, which they found layo naman. Dasmariñas, walang gustong pumunta doon. So, Brother Andrew Gonzalez was looking for a medical school. Actually, there was another group looking for a medical school, but he preferred La Salle because I suppose he had the sense that La Salle would bring a different dynamic going into the town and into the province. And sure enough, La Salle in a way is changed the trajectory also of
So Brother
development.
Andrew was then De La Salle University president.
Right.
Yes.
But which one was established first in Dasmariñas? LaSalle or EAC?
No, EAC.
No, them,
EAC.
EAC.
Kasi nga, the agreement was, sige Lasal, you take over the Emilio Aguinaldo College in Dasmariñas. And si Brother Andrew, ang motivation niya, merong medical school. He wanted a medical school. And at that time, I don't know, medical schools were like, by special approval Kaya lang nabuksan yon because during a certain period in Marcos's term, Marcos Sr., okay, pwedeng magbukas ng medical school pero kailangan sa labas ng Manila. So yan, nagbukas ang Fatima, Perpetual Health, sa outside Manila, lahat kami.
And they're required to be foundation. Yun ang alam ko lahat ng medical
required
schools.
to be a foundation.
That's good.
So yun ang naging predecessor niya. Tapos, kaya nagkaroon uli ng school doon sa Dasmariñas. Ang una, health sciences, ganon. Maybe we have to support the industrialization of the Calabarzon region. So nagbukas ng school doon na Emilio Aguinaldo College, CTES, Center for Technical Education and Skills Training. Yun ang unang naging reincarnation. So it would not conflict with the LaSalle program. But, unfortunately, I think we have been stereotyped then as offering medical programs. So nung nagkaroon ng demand for nursing, nagbukas ng nursing program, and that kind of became the opening that kind of made us enter again the health sciences there.
But you were also very popular in PT, no? I think around mga 90s, mid-90s, early 90s.
I mean, these programs, they have their time.
Time.
Like physical therapy, and a lot of it is driven by opportunities to work outside.
Abroad.
To work outside. That's, sadly, but right now, I think it may be a silver lining because the world needs
nurses.
this kind of services. Not just nurses, and Filipinos, our culture and the Filipino character is very different from the others. And basta when you're in different, like whatever country, if they say nurse, it's like if you want the premium brand that's a Filipino, you have to get a Filipino nurse. They are the best nurses, something like that, So, maybe we're not the best engineers, maybe not yet, but for health workers, Filipinos are the best, in the world. So from caregivers, so for whatever it's worth, I think it saves, it helps a lot of people here because all of these, kababayans of ours who are working abroad are sending money to support their families here.
Before Doris asks you the more serious questions, I'll ask you.
You mean that was not serious?
That's serious. Ano pala tayong preliminaries So, my question is, when did you take over the helm? Presidency. Is that an agreement with the family na after some time the president, I'll pass it to you, ganon?
After Paulo, should be Jose Paulo.
Is that something na deliberate, intentional? Were you raised and prepared for it?
You were with us when my father was around, right?
Yes.
You were with us. And he asked, okay, I became the president of the school, but for some time, so he actually created a new position for himself. You don't know that, right? He created a position called controller. And the duties and the powers were exactly the same as the president. So
Your father is smart.
I had to just work within the scope. Like, as he was getting older, he stayed mostly in Dasmariñas. So that's why for the longest time, there was like, what would you say, almost like an unstated agreement. Okay, I leave you there. I'm not going to meddle with things there. So I'll just run the school. I just run the things in Manila. So that's how it used to work. But then, we're all mortal. His mortality was catching up with him. So I had to fill in the vacuum as it was created. I mean, I didn't see any point in getting into a fight with him. So I just, graciously moved in.
Like a good soldier.
and relieved
Like a good
him
son.
A good son,
of
yeah.
problems when he couldn't deal with it anymore.
That's right. He must have said, "Thy will be done." You must have said that to your dad.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that's a very interesting history of both Emilio Aguinaldo College and Manila, and of course the one who founded the school, which is he's a medical doctor, Dr. Paulo Campos, and of course the current president. But the theme that we would like to really develop now is really from tradition and legacy and all of that of Emilio Aguinaldo College, with all the side stories about who was the fan of Emilio Aguinaldo and who was against him in that board, will now proceed to where we are right now. So where is Emilio Aguinaldo College positioning itself insofar as innovation, the
Quality
current
assurance.
landscape?
So I think that's where Dr. Becky.
I can open it and
Yes.
pass
Yeah.
it to Dr. Miranda. Well, of course, we're trying to give an education that will get our students either unemployment if they would like to be employed, or if they to start an enterprise that they might want to start. And so we kind of think of ourselves as like a supply chain, from when they join us and when we recruit them to prospective, even having linkages with prospective partners with where they might go. For example, our partnership with the school in Korea is actually, they go there for additional education to comply with the licensure requirements in Korea, but it is really in contemplation of getting employed.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is that way. And of course, the black box, if you will, of what we do inside the school is constantly how can we provide a better education. And so we use technology, and a lot of it is also like taking risk, because sometimes you start something, nobody is, how can you charge for like this thing of going to Korea? We paid we advanced their airfare. We actually paid for 2 months of their dorm, etc., to get it going with the agreement that they pay forward. In other words, if they finally get a job there, we are hoping that they would now just not really pay the school back, but pay back into the resources so that other students like them would get the same opportunity moving forward. So that's what we were hoping to do with that program. We're starting a program with a school in China to bring some of their this traditional Chinese medicine, an alternative medicine, which is one of its main value is it is not as expensive as Western medicine, and there may be certain conditions, medical conditions which may be susceptible for treatment with this approach. So anyway, let me give it to Dr. Miranda, because I might not
Sir, you said everything already. Nasabi na po lahat. Ano po, let me just add to what President Campos has mentioned. So we're so proud about the inbound and outbound mobility of our students. So in addition to what he has mentioned, well, we give opportunities to our students, not just academically, but also on the cultural side. So we expose them to meet with students from other countries. And the school is very supportive, like the partners we have in Daegu, South Korea, in China. We also have this cultural exchange program in the United States and many more, such as the student internship abroad program. So we are giving so much opportunity to our students. That is on top of all the digital solutions that we provide for the learners.
So what you're saying is that it's rather seamless, right? The fact that you uphold tradition and yet you also innovate. I mean, I'm actually associating culture and the arts with the idea of tradition.
Well, we are trying our best to strike a balance between the two. Like if we talk about AI and technology, yes, we give it to them. On the other hand, we let tradition complement the things that we do in school. Like, I'm so proud to mention that we are the seat of the Cavite Historical Society.
Oh, that's nice.
And of course,
nice.
Dr. Campos is
That's nice.
The president.
the president.
Oh.
You always say that. President traditional.
The story of my life.
And ask him also, what about the cricket?
when do
Cricket.
when do we allow
Association.
When do we allow Dr. Campos to be free from all of this?
And you mentioned yung cricket, no?
Ah,
So every
he's also
Sunday,
president.
you will see Mediterranean people
South Asian.
and
South Asian.
Southeast Asian and
In Cavite.
in Cavite playing cricket.
Cricket.
Oh, there's cricket.
Yeah, he's the president
Middle
of the
Eastern
Cricket
also.
Association.
Yeah.
Conscripted
yeah,
din daw.
I know cricket as an insect. It's a sport.
The sport,
Yeah.
yeah.
And history. One of the, I guess, important
Not the
things
insect.
is as our students, maybe go abroad, one of the things that's important is that they have a good sense of
That's right.
where they came from, of who who we are as a people, etc. And that they don't leave this country ashamed of who we are, but we continue to be who we are. Maybe adapt to a new country and a new land, but
Without forgetting.
without forgetting
Yeah.
our roots and all that, and hopefully to try to also support the kababayans who are.
But are we
who are
talking about Cavite or are we talking about the Philippines?
We're talking about the Philippines, because Cavite is just part of the Philippines.
I'm saying-
although the history, it might be what would you say, subject to debate, but
Yeah.
we have to appreciate that at least the will and the announcement that we are now a country was made
In Cavite.
in that province.
Yeah, right.
But it was made actually by many people. There were Ilocanos, etc. And it was just that it happened in that province.
Yeah,
but it
I
doesn't
understand.
mean that was just for people in
That's right.
Cavite.
Yeah. I say that because I was asking that because it's very strong the history of Emilio Aguinaldo College as one that was founded in Cavite, right? Of course, we know that our first president, Emilio Aguinaldo, of course, that's questionable for the Americans, but we think of him as a president, made that announcement in Cavite. But that is something that's very contentious in the country now, right? Very strong regionalism versus the idea of us being one nation. That's why I was asking. When we say Emilio Aguinaldo College and you want them to be respectful of their roots, it's their roots as Filipinos, right?
Yeah, of course.
And they have a lot of students leaving for abroad.
Well, whether it is for better or for worse, but unfortunately, a lot of the motivations like
Nursing.
is still to be able to work
Abroad.
outside the Philippines to earn. It's always about earning more money because they're to send to their families. This is
Yeah.
this, and I don't think it is fair to begrudge that.
Yeah.
Like just over lunch, we had. You remember Alex Balikud?
Yeah.
So he's now in Canada.
Oh,
and
okay.
he came.
Head of
and-
security before.
yeah,
Right.
He's still doing security work there for the county, the Wheatland County in Canada, and I at least you are. I'm happy that he has been able to see the world, etc.,
Yeah.
and made a life for himself there. But he continues to connect and something
Yeah.
that is good. We want that's like I guess my father's aspiration
Yeah.
for his kababayans. For all our students, our aspiration is that they have a better future. That their future helps their families. It's really all we
Right.
hope that we are able to do.
Yeah, I see a lot of similar comments here.
Oh, really?
But before we go to the comments, I remember around mga 90s, early 90s, mid 90s. I was in college. EAC was known for so at that time hindi pa masyadong branding, marketing, but EAC was really known for courses like PT, nursing, all over the country. Parang kahit saan ka magpunta ba sa PT, EAC. And of course, I joined. So in trivia, then I was in EAC as one of my few early jobs as a lawyer. And at that time, parang, so if I may parang divide yung era or come up with different eras in EAC, I think at the time when I joined, parang EAC was trying to, it was already emerging as one of the top players. If you compare it with those universities in the university belt, parang on the other side of Manila, parang that time. And then, after some time, you were parang strong on quality assurance na. So my question is that deliberate na? Parang mga 25 years yata, and then you decided to be very strong on quality assurance, and now ISO also. And I think there's also this, of course, aspiration to be a university. Is this something that deliberate? And by the way, before you answer, I've known EAC as yung with the tagline ever since yung the world starts here. So before everyone was talking about internationalization, you've been partnering with China, Korea, Nepal. Again, is this something that's very deliberate from the founder, or
I would be
leadership?
fooling you if I said it was deliberate.
you can fool us
A
naman.
lot of things, it's the school is a community, and a lot of people bring ideas in. Like, for example, she's not here, but since you're talking of this, Dr. Ellen Salak, the Vice President of Academic Affairs,
For Manila.
I mean, her cup of tea is this
Accreditation.
accreditation, ISO, etc. So, you bring someone like that into the team, then you bring all her ideas and her suggestions, etc. And I think one of the things as an organization is it's not one person. I mean, it's a thing, maybe
so nice.
that it's like an orchestra. I might be conducting it, but it's a mutual influence. I listen to them, and they influence what I think, etc. But of course, at the end of the day, I have to make a decision, and I own it. If it turns out no good or doesn't, I don't turn around and say, "Oh, she just recommended that." But we have to be open to all these ideas, and I guess that's how the institution grows, because we all share ideas amongst ourselves. And I'll pass it to Dr. Becky because, for example, in Cavite, she has her group there, and they have a very strong team spirit, if you want to put it that way, so strong that sometimes there is sibling rivalry where I'm in the middle, and when I try to say one EAC, well, they want to have their own kind of sub-identity within the, so you kind of try to respect that, but try to also say, hey, can we be a little not very kind of possessive about certain things? So let me...
But yeah, before you answer, Dr. Becky, I think for those who are familiar with EAC Manila and Cavite, EAC Cavite has really grown, di ba? In terms of enrollment size and programs. Is this also something that was... the EAC was really
No,
conscious?
it was divine intervention.
Divine intervention.
No.
Lahat na lang.
Because, I didn't, let's say, I'm sure Dr. Becky is running a very good school. That's why, in spite of being under the shadow of a
Manila,
behemoth, because I remember something one of my colleagues said, you never put a school beside La Salle because it is going to be like planting a small tree under a banyan tree, and you will never get the sun, and you will just die. But that's not true, We have we have evolved a complementary relationship with La Salle, where we are sort of competitors, but in a way we work together. Some people can't afford the school tuition of La Salle, so they go to us, Maybe they can only admit so many, so they also go to us. But talking about divine intervention, the reason is the population of Cavite has exploded. That's really what it is. And it is because, remember that 2-lane road I told you?
Yeah.
Eventually, the areas around have expanded, but it was a vacuum. So what happens, physics, what will happen is the pressure will go into the vacuum. So that's all that happened. Population suddenly moved into Cavite when this notion of law and order became less of a concern, when opportunities became available, like when La Salle went there, the roads
It's rather
improved, so
proximate
nagkaroon
to
na ng
NCR.
mga other industries. There were economic zones that were
Housing
developed.
also.
So, and so everything follows. So that's why I said it's.
But I think you,
Good place to
of
be.
course, you're also doing something right because you have so many schools also in the area, and you're growing in population.
Well, that's why Dr. Becky and I'll give this thing to her.
because you won't let.
Make
bigyan
up
nga
your
ng isa pang
mind. Make
mic.
up your mind, okay? If you will give the mic, okay?
The challenge is what drives.
He gave the mic and he would give it back.
Can I just make a comment about competition?
Okay.
Can I make?
Okay, yes.
I think
Be our guest.
what we are, our governance, our people in governance are missing the point of introducing competition into this education system. And I will make an appeal for them to rethink about the funding that all goes to state institutions, because they're really killing the possibility of competition, because it is competition that forces you. You say, well, how is it that, what is driving innovation?
Forces
For
you
us,
to
innovation
innovate,
is being driven by an existential requirement.
Right.
We either innovate or we die.
Yeah.
Or we will be...
Innovate or perish.
Yeah, correct. We will just become extinct. So there is it's an imperative. We have to stay ahead of the things, with limited resources, because we don't have the resources the state or government institutions have. They have taxing power. We don't have any taxing power. So anyway, I give it to you.
Let me start with history also. So I joined EAC Cavite in 2016. I came from a very big university up north. So I was invited by my colleagues to join the institution. So there were only 2,000 students then
Yes, yes.
in 2016.
Imagine.
You know what gave us really a good fortune? It was the pandemic. It was in 2020 when all the subscription that were paid by our president, the LMS, the simulation of laboratories worked for us. So if the other schools were
Yeah.
panicking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
how to do online
That's right.
teaching and learning,
That's right.
we already have all this
In place.
technology, all
place.
these digital solutions in place. And then our enrollment went up to over 10,000 in a period
Wow.
of 5 years.
5
That was
years.
2020.
And
until
even when
now.
you went back to in-person classes, it
that is
grew
already
even
in
further.
place. The LMSs are still being used now.
We still use it,
Yeah.
and we are doing
Oh,
50%
hybrid,
on-site
blended. Yeah.
and 50%
That's right.
online
Yeah.
teaching and learning.
So was it again by design that you thought that technology should be used in the teaching learning process? Of course, you did not foresee the pandemic, right? But you already did your investment on technology.
Like I said,
Oh, you don't say na naman. It's
yeah,
Intervention.
It's divine
This
intervention.
time it was
Very humble,
intervention of SMEC. There was a research
Oh,
congress,
okay.
and it was hosted by the College of St. Benil. The president then was Brother Dennis Magbanwa,
Magbanwa,
and they were like on display was a system they called Big Sky, which was actually
Yes, yes,
Bright
yes.
Space,
Yes.
and they invited this D2L people there, and so. I mean, I don't know. I think my guardian angel said, you better look into that because you may need that. So,
So it was the divine intervention at some cases, and then in some
Guardian
cases it's the
angel.
guardian angel.
Yeah, correct.
So how can we how can we have the schools who are here learn from your good practices?
Well, they should
if
break.
it's not really like
they
divine
should-
intervention
they
or
should
guardian
just
angel.
Listen to that voice inside them, and it'll tell them exactly what they ought to. Sometimes you have to take a risk. you know?
Yes. But I think the voice inside your head or wherever it is, or it's in your heart, is actually reading the signs of the times, right?
Perhaps.
You're practically immersed, so you know what's happening elsewhere. You also know what will allow you to be competitive. You also know what is needed. So I think that's the voice.
Well, actually, for me, it was a little more local. You know how they always cancel classes when there's typhoon,
Yes, yes.
etc. And I found that very annoying because
Yes.
one time I was summoned to the office of the mayor
Yeah.
because this is what happened then. You know how they would cancel classes in the middle of the day? So they canceled classes and the typhoon was already there and the wind was kind of howling
Yes,
all over
yes,
the
yes.
place. So I said, it doesn't make sense for us to send the students out at this time. We
That's
better
right.
wait for this
Yeah.
typhoon to pass before
That's
we
right.
send them out. Now, some smart Alec or whatever went on Facebook and said something like this, malakas, malakas sila or something like that, siguro they're untouchable kaya they can choose to ignore what the declaration of
the
of
local
no
government.
class. Aba, tinawag kami sa office ng mayor.
Manila.
Hindi.
Cavite.
Mayor ng Dasmariñas. At, I guess when you're in politics, you're sensitive to all these things
That's
that
right.
come
Public
out
opinion.
in social media. So that's really when, what really, I thought, they keep canceling class, every little thing, cancel class.
Okay.
I think this would be a good,
Yeah.
technology to have so that there would be less disruption.
That's good.
Little did I know that they would later on say, may bagyo, cancel class. By the way, cancel din ang online. Hindi pwede do you remember?
Yeah,
They did
yeah,
that for some crazy
Okay,
thing like that.
so when that happened, what did you do?
Well, we don't want to get into a fight with Mayor Isko like Esther.
Like UE, Esther Garcia, nag-mention
So I,
pa ng
thought there was
pangalan.
so I thought there was another guardian angel who gave you the solutions.
Yeah, so but eventually I think the schools talked to the authorities and said, why don't you just let us proceed with it? There's such a thing as asynchronous. There's a thing as synchronous. So we don't lose time. We don't lose. So the students are not disadvantaged. So ayun. So
Sige.
Yeah.
we went.
Let's talk about that more. So let's move towards that. The policy environment in education now, because Dr.
But
Campos also
I like what he said about competition. That's
Competition.
something that is not recognized.
Yeah. So from the all of these internal and local conditions we AC, let's talk about the current policy environment in education. We also want to know your thoughts. Well, you served as president of POPSCO for 12 years,
Chaired Cocopea.
chairman of Cocopea, also South Manila Education Consortium. So as schools and like EAC move towards internationalization, innovation, what about the policy environment? Specifically, Ched, what's working and what do you think is not working, and what
As it
should
should.
they
Well,
focus more?
Attorney E, you're the expert in the policy environment. What you always say, we're over-regulated. And I do believe when you're trying to create a more competitive situation, you have to create some flexibility. It cannot be one size fits all, because in a way that stifles innovation. And when you say, I won't say now what, because but let's say, ito kailangan everybody has to follow this. And so where's the room for innovation there? For example, in our case, a specific case, we have a lot of very qualified practitioners of medicine who could actually serve in the education, be part of our education organization. But if we took them in, our possibility of becoming a university will be zero, because medicine, even if you are a diplomate holder, let's say you're a cardiologist or you're a pulmonologist, it's not given any equivalent of an educational equivalence, I don't know kung sa PQF kung may equivalent yan, but they're just considered a master's degree holder, because that is the only the diploma you got.
So in other words, the idea of practitioners is something that is really not completely respected.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
it has to be a credential.
It's not factored in. Right. It's not factored in. And for example, in the medical community, and unlike some other degree where you have clear degrees given by an educational institution, after you finish your MD in an educational institution, you take your medical licensure exam. The rest of your preparation is given by like professional groups, professional societies. Like if you're going to be a surgeon, it will be maybe the board of surgery, whatever you call it. Then the internal people who do internal medicine, they have a residency program that's 3 years, and then they do a subspecialty. You can be an endocrinologist, a gastroenterologist, etc.
But is that enough?
But it's not given any value.
Yeah.
So, for example, a specific case, respiratory therapy.
RT.
You cannot, if you have a physician who's a pulmonologist whose undergrad was respiratory therapy, I'm not sure if the CMO is out, but I'm told by July, you have to have a doctorate degree.
In RT.
Basta a doctorate degree that's aligned, because there is no master's for RT, there's no doctorate, so it will probably be either a master's in public health, doctorate in public health, or master's in education, doctorate in education for you to qualify. So that excludes this whole group of people
Or
who
professionals.
may actually have
Qualified,
more knowledge in that field,
Right.
simply because of the
Stringent
the
requirements.
box we have created that this is what is required. So I
Is
mean,
that-
those are things that I think we're just handicapping ourselves. We're handicapping our educational system. We're handicapping our learners. I won't use the word students, our learners. We're just handicapping ourselves by creating this very narrow requirement. Or maybe I'll give you because we've been trying to search for a person, for that position. So we had an alumni who expressed interest, worked in Singapore, got an MBA while in Singapore because he was like managing the facility, which was some clinic. And then he wanted to, when coming back, wants to be in education, got a doctorate in education. Cannot be because
Not aligned.
not aligned. So, all of this
That's a good point.
potential people who could have made a contribution are now excluded because of the rules we've created. So I think those are the things
But
that...
is this common also in other programs? Like for example, HRM. So is there difficulty in bringing in faculty from practitioners? So because you have a few with academic credentials,
Let Dr.
or
Becky talk on that.
or accountants, ganun din ba? Is a difficulty of getting practitioners to teach kasi wala silang academic credentials.
Yes, there is a dearth of
Also.
professionals who possess the qualification. So let's talk about hospitality industry, for instance. You don't expect a chef to
get an
taking
MA or-
her
That's right.
master's degree or PhD. So that's one aspect where I would say misalignment between
Right.
the skills that are needed in the workplace.
Right.
It should have been brought by someone who is coming from the industry.
But you're allowed to hire naman faculty, di ba? If there's a dearth of MA degree holders, but there's a provision in the CMO that
There
allows you
is
to
a
do that.
provision in the CMO, and if you are vying for these levels of accreditation and university status, then you really have to adhere to those prescribed qualifications.
But that's my problem with the spirit of innovation. Innovation really cannot fly if you are so restricted. And you cannot move fast enough if, again, you are restricted.
Because this is what happens. The CMO is interpreted to be just the minimum standards. So the irony of it is the higher you aspire, whether it's accreditation or what, and you go up levels, it becomes more rigid. It becomes more rigid. It's like you're looking for that needle in the haystack to fill that space. And I wonder if we're actually disadvantaging ourselves. And I don't mean just Emilio Aguinaldo, but the educational system is disadvantaging itself by excluding all these people who may be able to.
And it's the opposite, Dory. So parang dapat as you climb that ladder, from college to university status or accredited status, dapat the more academic freedom you should have, right?
The less handholding.
Less rigid
in effect,
rules.
right?
Less
Because,
handholding.
I'd always say, of course, all of this accreditation, they're actually external, external to the institution, and that has value. But we've had discussions about it. At a certain point, when you have a mature institution that intrinsically is already pursuing excellence, then how do the externals, right? How will the externals look at this mature institution?
May I qualify it? It may be just because we're just a wannabe. We're trying to be, say, for example, a university. But what I understand from those that are already there,
That's right. They also are complaining.
but they excuse themselves. Like state institutions, I think they find that they have more flexibility.
Okay.
They would say, why are you making a
Dr.
problem?
Campos, I just spoke to about 2 autonomous universities very recently. And their complaint is that they don't feel they're being autonomous because they also are so restricted by CHED. So in fact, there's one university who's also was saying, we're being dissuaded from pursuing, being autonomous because the autonomous institutions are telling us it's just about the same. So I think that is something that is really I've heard it so many times that, in fact, my advice has always been, have you discussed this in Kokopea so that you can have this discussion with relevant agencies such as CHED? Because that's pathetic. If it's already the autonomous institution saying that they don't feel the incentives of being autonomous.
Let's push for Dr. Campos as
But there are so many very good
Yeah,
comments
very good.
here about Emilio Aguinaldo College.
Don't
right?
do that.
No, last, I think about 2 weeks ago, we were with Dr. Peter Laurel, and
That's
we were
what he said,
we
oh.
were exactly saying the same thing, right, Dr.
And
Laurel,
that's his
when we
reaction
did join
also.
CHED. So many
Oh, let's-
comments
you
here,
read
from
the-
Emilio, saying that they're very proud of Emilio Aguinaldo College. In fact, when EAC's founder decided to establish a college in previously sleepy town of Dasmariñas, he actually opened the eyes of the residents about their worth and potential. That's C.M. Miñano. That's very, very heartwarming, no? It's not accreditation or anything that will give you that sense of accomplishment. It's what the residents, I would imagine, would say about EAC. No? There's such a long comment here, no, about thank you to the leadership of Emilio Aguinaldo College Cavite for being a big part of my journey as a criminology student. Very nice. They're very affirming.
I think students, see Mark Jason Orias, the leadership of EAC Cavite really inspired me during my time there. So alumni. They guided us well, showed discipline, and motivated us to become better individuals. I'm proud to be an Emilian. Di ba? Very, affirming.
But ako, on a personal note, I worked with Dr. Campos as early as the time when I was still connected with St. Scholastica's Manila. And I've always found in him, a very good education leader. I'm not saying this because
Because we're here.
you're hosting us, no. But because he's very congenial, but he says the right things. He says the right things, right? So in other words, when he talks about why is it that government is supporting all of these SUCs, and in fact because of that support, in effect, the competitive neutrality is compromised and all that. Sometimes I think in PAC we've had some FGDs with thought leaders, and we've invited him to join us because we value his wisdom.
Yeah.
Wisdom.
Yeah, I don't know
That
about
comes
wisdom.
with age.
But-
I don't know, wisdom because of divine intervention, guardian angels,
No,
and
but no, I think it's not. I think they should introduce the competitiveness also for the benefit of the
For the-
SUCs
I know, and
of the
LUCs,
system.
yeah.
I'm not saying that as a criticism, but I think
That's
we
right.
are. You're going to atrophy because once all monopolies become, in effect, like dinosaurs, because there's no competition. Maybe you're just looking at public opinion, so whatever. But you're missing out. In fact, I think we're fortunate we're in a private school and we're subjected to all these challenges, etc. Because I think in
allows
the
you.
end, it will be us who will survive, because we are used to surviving in this
difficult.
very
Challenging
difficult
times.
conditions, right? And those who have had a very what would you say, pampered or sheltered existence are actually not evolving, and they're getting disadvantaged over time. Maybe the government will continue to support them, but I think the problem the government will find is resources are scarce. We have to allocate it very efficiently, and they may find that they're creating a burden that will become heavier and heavier.
That's right.
That eventually the adjustment will be more difficult, because what will they do? Not fund it or give a substandard level of education. So I think adjusting earlier is better, and introducing competition gradually by maybe decontrolling some of those
right.
public funds to make it competitive. In other words, let the student decide. Let the
We're back
student
to
decide.
student choice.
It's like what you do in PEAC,
student choice.
the voucher. Give them some options. And I think we should trust the Filipino family and Filipino
Parents.
parent that they're intelligent. They're going to make proper
Proper
choices.
choices.
It's not like we have to shield them like what we just say, people who cannot take care of themselves. They will know what's right. So anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, ako just want to second what Doris said. Not because I worked with EAC 20 years ago, but I think it's really very important. I think it's implicit, no, it's a discussion with Dr. Chicho, yung vision.
That's right.
I think every educational leader should have that vision for, because
And the good
he was
heart.
talaga
Sa pambola na to.
Oo.
No? Pero hindi, no? We're telling the truth.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's,
good heart.
good
Good heart.
ako, to be honest, 20 years ago, I started there. And then, I transitioned from the in-house lawyer to starting my own firm. Delinquent ako actually sa kanila noon eh. I always, I wanted to work yung mga policy, pops ko pa less of the in-house work. But to be honest, at the time, I thought EAC, okay, we've saturated the programs,
Not really.
pababa na yung nursing, etc. Just when I thought, and now years, it has grown so much from there. And I think because of the quality assurance, the culture, you were able to adapt it. So,
Well, if I could make a
important.
comment about Attorney E, I consider
Patay ako.
Attorney E an alumni of EAC.
yeah.
I mean, I think you think of education only in narrow terms, like, oh, you were
School.
enrolled, etc.
Yeah,
But
right.
he was part of the journey and the experience, and I think
Yeah.
I'm
Should
glad
give him a loyalty
that we
award.
had
I did.
we had someone who
yes, I attended that.
went on and made contributions
Yes,
and
yes,
continues to make contributions to education.
That's
And
right.
I mean, I think that's
Yeah,
something we're proud of.
that's right.
Thank you.
So we
I'm
gave him an
EAC
award
product.
during our 50th
I think yes,
anniversary.
I think I
Yeah,
attended that.
we
I
were
attended that. Yes,
recognized,
yes.
Attorney
He was
Estrada.
recognized, of course.
Oh, tayo
Siguro,
daw, ayan,
ano
we
lang.
have to shift
Hindi,
daw to...
one last question na lang dito. Kasi we've been saying that, there's we're respectful of tradition and the long history of Emilio Aguinaldo College and its core values and all that. So, these values are not compromised in the pursuit of all of this, all of these initiatives towards competitiveness, using AI and connectivity and all of that, digital solutions. These core values are not compromised.
Yeah, and we boiled it down to some three simple things, which is virtue, not necessarily in any order, but virtue, service, and excellence. Those are, we just tell them, just, adhere to that in whatever you do. Do the right thing. Don't be tempted by short-term gain. And
So this virtue,
yeah. So
Excellence and service.
excellence is you
and
do
service.
give the best that you can do in any situation. Don't be like the president who doesn't do his homework. Be like Dr. Estrada.
to be clear, who's the president that we're talking about?
Myself.
You. Okay. Virtue, excellence,
And
and
service.
Service.
Right.
This world is not about me, and what it's really about. I think
you can give.
fulfillment is about being able to do something for other people, and I think you will find that that's the cure to all these mental health issues people have. Maybe they have to do more things and not be too counting everything that what's in it for me. So Dr. Becky is the one who's an expert in this, right?
Okay.
Let's
that's
talk
very deliberate. That's very deliberate. That with all of this, all of these changes and that are rapidly happening, innovations and all, virtue, excellence, service, they're not forgotten.
Yes, and we also strike a balance between
Education with
the tradition and innovation. So if I'll expound on that, sir. If you look at our quality objectives and targets, KRA 6 is all about education with the heart. With all, KRA 1 to 5 are all academic programs and improving instruction, community service. But the president suggested that we will do something else that is different. And we called it education with a heart.
Baka maging achieve yan, ha?
And
That's nice.
yeah, and when we deal with the everyday activities that we have, we always make it a point that even in the branding, we incorporate the tradition because we are in Cavite. Like if we do a fun run, we just don't call it a fun run. We call it EAC Heritage Sunset Run. So it's all about the history of Cavite and incorporating
It's
as well
huge,
the
huh? history
tradition
of
of
Cavite
Cavite.
in Philippine history is huge. Okay. So we'll now move to Ed Light.
A lighter discussion.
Okay, so Doc Becky and Doc Chichoy. No? So we have a segment here after the deep dive that we did, which we call Ed Light. Okay? Sasagot ka, ha? Okay, so what do you
Kinabahan siya.
do? What do you do if you're not, if you're not presidenting? If you're not presidenting in, in Cavite and Manila, what are your hobbies? What are your
What do
interests?
you do? Yeah.
What do you do? Okay. Use the mic so that they can hear you.
Well, unfortunately, I have other responsibilities besides presidenting for a school.
So, president
I
of
have
the
to
cricket.
presidenting for cricket, or I have to be an honorary consul for Nepal.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And I have to be presidenting for the Cavite Historical
So
Society.
nothing light? Is there anything
That's light
light?
for me.
Oh, wait,
Light.
what's light? Being president of the cricket club.
So being president of the Historical Society.
Oh, that's nice.
It's, we have a monthly meeting. Now, because of this energy emergency, we do now online 2 meetings and then the 3rd meeting in person. But people from the different towns and cities of Cavite go to that meeting. And you learn a lot from them because a lot of them are, have a same interest in history. In fact, we have a project for Cavite because there is something called, what is this? Historical committees. What is that?
National Historical
Something
Commission.
it's part of the National Historical Commission. And it goes, there is a, like what you have, a General Assembly in Mindanao, Visayas, and Luzon, and it rotates. And this, in 2027, it will be in Luzon. And it will be the 50th anniversary of the Cavite Historical Society. So we are making representations if it can be hosted by Cavite.
Still
that's-
sounds heavy eh. Hindi ba?
Hindi naman siya
What about
light.
your light?
Light.
What's your lighter side na lang? So how?
lighter side.
Is there a lighter side?
Is there a lighter side
He does
to
not
me?
have-
Hobbies. What do you do when you're not working? When you have spare time, vacation or
Vacation, okay, there. For example, in June, we're going to visit my son and our grandkids in London.
Okay, so it's
So
family-
then we will
family time.
kind of make. He said we'll go and stay in a medieval town called Rye, somewhere in southern England. So we will see something of that place. And usually when I go there, I pick up some. You compare. That's one thing about the English. They're very proud of their history. They're very steeped in their history. So I end up learning about their history too, and I think about us and our own history. Maybe we don't trace it as far back as them.
We're not as proud.
Yeah, but we should because it is something we should put effort to discover more about ourselves. So, that's travel.
that's it? What else?
Whatever travel.
Hirap yung i-push eh, no?
Si Doc Becky.
Si
Si
Doc
Doc
Becky.
Becky naman, what do you do when you're not?
Do you have any?
When Dr. Campos is not bugging you with the
Actually, the president gave me a place to stay near the school, so I
Okay.
can work 24/7.
Oh, smart.
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 Because he lives at the,
Smart.
on top of the
Yeah.
building of the
Actually,
school also.
he actually like claimed that it was for your sake that you live nearby.
I,
It's just
I
that,
look
you know.
at it that way, but I also see the other side of it. Well, I go up to Baguio. My family is in
You're
Baguio.
based
so-
in Baguio.
Yes, so every time that
Interesting.
I have a chance,
Mm.
I go up and visit my family. Also, I have 2 apos, dalawang grandchildren.
This is family.
Family pa
Yeah,
din.
that's why.
And work.
I would agree. Yeah, education with the heart. Okay.
What is my hobby? Attorney Estrada.
Bugging
You
people.
love to eat.
There.
You love to eat. Di ba? Likes eating.
Right. I like to eat, and fortunately,
Fortunately, don't get
for
me.
divine intervention, again, I don't have diabetes or anything like that, and I'm free to eat whatever I like. Of course, I always eat in moderation. I don't abuse it, etc. You know, and in a way, my adoptive, because I'm the honorary consul of Nepal, I try to, make sure that the Nepalese who come here, are don't get themselves in trouble, etc. There's something he'll call the Non-Resident Nepalese Association. So I've been to Nepal a few times. So we issue visas, so if you want to
Visit Nepal.
yeah, if you want to visit, it's not expensive. It's cheap, and if some of the views can be, it's really different. Have you seen the Himalayan mountain range?
Mount Everest.
You should. You don't even have to climb. You can go to, like just in the foothills, and you can see the mountain range. And I think you
Well,
will.
we can visit if we are with the honorary consul.
Yeah.
Even
No
a
less.
company. Yeah.
O siya, tayo, na daw. Overtime na daw tayo.
Okay. Pero we really would like to, of course, say thank you to Doc Chichoy and Dr.
Yay.
Becky. Yay. So final words to all our viewers, especially those who are from EAC. I think we have a lot from EAC watching now. If anything to say to them that you've not said?
Well, we're of course, I'm always happy for all our students. They're the purpose. We are here. They validate us, and I thank my students. They may thank us for giving them an education, but we thank them for giving us a purpose
Oh, that's
to
so
live
nice.
in this world. That's
Very nice.
they give purpose to us and meaning to our lives.
Nice.
So
Very
we
nice.
thank them for that.
Very nice.
First, I would like to acknowledge that I am working with a visionary leader, Dr. Campos. And I would like to thank also the deans and directors of Emilio Aguinaldo College Cavite for being a good team player. So this is for the love of the learners of EAC. So if one day they'll say that they can recognize the graduates of EAC because they exhibit virtue, excellence, and service, then that means that we have achieved our mission as academic leaders. Thank you for having us.
Very nice.
Very nice. Naisip ko, pag ito nagtayo ng branch sa Pangasinan, o kaya sa Pampanga, PAC na to eh. Okay ba yun? Okay. Okay, so...
Yung law office ko nga, EAC na rin eh.
Malapit na, malapit na.
Estrada and Campos.
Konti na lang, konti na lang.
Pilit eh, no? Okay, so... Ano pa?
Oo.
Please watch our episode if you're seeing this late, you can Can
Actually,
watch it again.
I saw Roy's story
si Roy,
saying
si
hi.
Roy, so-
Oh, he came in siguro at 7 o'clock. So,
You can watch
Watch
us
the
on
full episode.
Spotify,
Uh-huh.
YouTube, and of course,
Watch the
dito
full
sa Facebook. Please watch our full episode. Meron ka ba anything you want to
no,
promote?
I just came
Upcoming
from
events?
Lyceum of the Philippines University, Laguna, where we're holding our in-service training activities. So I'd like to greet, of course, Dr. Peter Laurel, our program director, Darma Kalingasan, our program coordinator. And, I saw more than 1,000 junior high school teachers there who really were so into the in-service training activities, talking about the 3-term calendar, talking about learning progression. And I'm really very impressed with the work done by our inset trainers. Of course, our consultant, Miguel Rapatan, our training unit, Presi Labao heads the training unit. So, there.
Ako naman, I'll be at the PGCA Annual International Conference sa Wednesday ito. So see you there, mga guidance counselors. So I'll be there 10 o'clock to 10:45. And also, I'll be in Iloilo for the Dominican Schools in-service training.
Yes,
so
yes.
see you there on the 21st. And then, of course, yung ating May 22, yung ating webinar with Raxo Ed on discipline with due process. And of course, PAFTE also on May 22.
Oh, so we'll be there.
We'll be
So
there
I'll be there
also.
in PAFTE, May 22. May 20, I'll be in St. Paul, Pasig, for the St. Paul system.
Mag-usapang ed kaya tayo sa PAFTE.
We have to tell them.
We have to tell them. Anyway, maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat. And thank you for joining us. And I hope you continue watching and support
Usapang
our show, Usapang
Yes,
Ed.
Usapang Ed,
Season 2. Babaguhin na daw yung script eh. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Take
Happy
care
Monday.
everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Becky.
you, Doc Becky.